Welcome back, guys, to a random episode of Cards Against Humanity Online and a top
That's a
five
good film.
list. We're here with our good friend Mr. Blacc from the Jobber Tears podcast. Thank you so much for being here. We've been trying to get
What's
this
up?
set up for the longest time. We also have our boys Ashore, Mr. Kula,
You
and
want that
Mr.
phone for
Mr.
me for
Mr.
today?
Tevin Brown. The
Shit.
Tevin, look, you see how pretty you look? You want to go with the
Yeah.
washed out, ugly ass look? Look at you. You're looking good. You're looking good. And of course, myself, Mr. Alex. But yeah, once again, thanks. This has been way overdue. We were trying to get this done a long time ago, and
Last year.
yeah, for a long time. Circumstances, at least we could do
Black
it now,
no.
and we could have it done in the correct way. So yeah, we're here playing
Cards Against
Cards Against
Humanity.
Humanity. Yes, I'm sorry. And
You didn't name the
unfortunately,
podcast. Like
I
you said
started.
everything else
I
except
did.
our name.
Yeah, it's eye pokes and head chokes. Yeah, background, whatever.
Y'all
If
recording this?
yeah, we're recording. Yeah, we're live, bro.
I forgot there was a blueberry in my coffee.
What happened?
I forgot there was a blueberry in my coffee.
You forgot there was a blueberry in your coffee. That's nice.
Yeah.
Never thought about some shit like that. That's why. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nah.
So yeah, since I'm the card queen, the card that I got, the black card is more restaurants need blank on the menu. So we're gonna start the round now. Um, we're also doing the top five list. I know it's kind of hard for you to multitask, Kula, like you said before we started. So we're gonna start with Tevin. Tevin's top five heels of the last decade. So wrestler is onto wrestlers. It could be male or female, doesn't matter. So you're well within your rights to go ahead. You didn't think about females, did you, Kula?
Of course not.
I see your face right now. You
I
didn't
already
think
know who I'm
about
gonna say
females at
though.
all.
I know who I'm gonna say though.
So Tevin, we can start with you. I mean, if you want to start from the number five to up or whatever order you want to do it in, it's like up to you. Like whichever, you're good to go.
Could real quick, could I just do like an honorable mention?
You could do that too. You could do that first. Go ahead.
All
Go
right.
ahead.
So honorable mentions, I had Brock. Only because as much as people do complain about him holding the title, and he's a part timer, there's still a lot of people who appreciate who he is, his physical specimen, and his attributes. So that's kind of why, like, I didn't put him in the top five. He's like kind of close to being a tweener.
Yeah. Agreed.
And it's like it's not the smartest type of hate for him. Like it really doesn't make sense.
Yeah. I mean,
As far as
he's in my honorable mentions too. So like, I'm right there with you, 100%.
that was just one of my numbers.
I also have Walter in there.
Who?
Walter?
Oh,
Wrestling
no.
pace.
Is he breaking up a little bit? Yeah. Okay. Continue. You're good. You're good.
Oh, so his wrestling pace, just his intent on why he's in NXT UK. He's not there to be a fan favorite. He's not there to. He's not really there for the reaction, like the cheers, like that. He's there to dominate. Like he said, he's the ring general, and he's going to show you that through his brutality, through his pacing and matches. And then I was kind of torn between MJF and Shayna Baszler.
Okay.
So I gave that to MJF because I'm still not familiar with him, but from what I've seen so far, he probably might be the top heel in the 2020s.
Fair.
He's on pace. He's on pace for
I can
that.
see that. Yeah, because he talks a lot of shit.
So my top five. Does it have to be in order or?
Up to you if you want to do it from five all the way to one or whatever. If you can't choose between, like it's up to you.
No particular order. I'm gonna start with CM Punk.
Mm-hmm.
Just because of the bitterness.
Okay, yeah.
I got that.
Then I'm also gonna go with Baron Corbin.
That's my number
because
one.
He is genuinely hated, and I'm trying to tell people he's doing something right.
He's doing everything right.
He's absolutely doing something right.
Yeah.
If you absolutely can't stand him, then he's doing something right.
Yeah, most definitely.
3, I have Seth Rollins.
I mean, I just don't like him.
Yeah, that has
Only
nothing with him
because
being a
of
heel for me. But he had some of
he's
the
just
biggest heel moments. I agree.
it was just like that whole just like
Yeah.
oh,
And the
you know,
whole
and
Shield
he
thing.
had his dominance. He was that type of champion. Like damn, like you want to see him go away, but it's like you got to respect his talent. You know.
Real quick, is everybody in the game or not?
I thought we were.
Yeah. It says
Yeah,
Coolest Idol
Well,
and
yeah, I have
Travis
to go.
Idol.
We're
Oh
waiting on
my
your
bad.
cards. Yeah.
Oh, I don't. How the hell? Okay, I don't know how
Oh,
to.
come
I
on.
don't know how does this shit work.
More restaurants need blank on the menu.
Yeah, you got to
Oh,
pick out a
so I'm
card.
just sending.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Pick the card.
Already picked.
I'm not even
Oh,
going to.
for 2, I have Bray Wyatt.
Bray Wyatt.
Yeah, because once again,
Okay.
We're talking about the
Yeah.
decade.
Okay.
only because yes, we may not see him as a heel, but he is supposed to be portrayed. He's supposed to be conceived as a heel.
Early, yeah, early
Yeah,
Bray is a
and,
heel.
yeah, and he's kind of like that villain, like that just won't go away. He's unstoppable, even before the feud. You know.
I agree. I agree.
And
I agree.
and last but not least, Chris Jericho.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Shit, I didn't put that much thought into it. I have some pretty. I mean, for obvious reasons, we know he's one of the better heels. He's one of the better talkers.
Yeah.
Period. So, yeah.
That's
There's not much
I
to be
couldn't think
said.
of any more, but
Yeah. Huh.
I have a crazy list, and I'm like fluctuating
Shit.
everything around it now. So I feel like I'm just gonna say names that we haven't said,
Okay,
but I'm not
real
gonna go
quick.
next. I'm not
Real
gonna go
quick.
next.
You gotta click on your card, I think. Look, both of y'all, I guess it says you're both idle. Just
Yeah.
because he selected his card. I don't know how you do it on your end, but I'm pretty sure.
Oh,
There
it
you go.
says card pack
There you go. Yeah. What do you mean card pack?
at the top. It says
Yeah,
all
you gotta
bag.
pick. You gotta pick the card, and then I picked the funniest one.
you
Never play
click play
cards.
after you.
I don't know how to play this shit online.
You just click it. It says pick.
This is the stuff I have to deal with, guys.
You pick
I
then
don't
play, right?
listen. I don't play fucking video games online unless like, come on, it has to be a PS5 or a 4.
Come on,
Obviously a 4.
come on, man.
You
It's
still
not
didn't
that
pick?
hard. What are you picking that you're doing wrong?
I have no idea where the fuck I'm at right now. It says creative. I don't know what the fuck this is at right now. Come on.
What?
I don't understand.
I don't.
Yeah.
That's
I'm about to send a real quick new game to everybody because apparently he fucked it up somehow.
Oh,
Yeah.
well. That's where I was
unfortunately.
at then.
No,
okay.
no,
Oh
I don't
well.
know what you did.
Oh well.
Did you hit join game?
Yes, I did.
No, you didn't.
I was
Liar.
not even on that screen anymore. It said I was.
I gotta
It said
click on it
everyone was
again?
idle.
I'm sending another one. It's
Okay.
it's in the chat.
Okay, I see it. Let's try this again.
All
This
right,
is what needed a trial.
Since we're getting no, it doesn't. You're the one that needs a trial. Since
Okay,
we're
I'm not joining the
I'll go
game,
next.
bitches.
I'll go next. So for my honorable mentions, I mean, this.
Sir, let the guest go first.
I want to save him for last because he might have the best. You know, he might have the best thing. You know, we know Mr. Blacc can talk. He's a good promo artist. We know this. He can
Thanks.
sell it. All right. So like, I do have I didn't have MJF, but I do have MJF. Obviously, like I want to put Chris Jericho there because he is there. But like in my honorable mentions, I have Shayna Baszler, Brock Lesnar, I have Sasha Banks, and I have MJF for obvious reasons. I think he's for 2020s like he said. He should be there. If we have this 10 years from now and we go look back on it, he's definitely going to be one of the top heels. So is Jericho at this point. Even though I don't want to use Jericho because it's too easy to use Jericho.
Yeah.
All right, I started the game. I'm the card queen once again, real quick. You have blank, like as in a question. You have blank. Oh my god, put it in my mouth. That's the thing. So I started the round. Here we go.
What?
Yeah, this wasn't like this before.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it wasn't actually because you were seeing something different probably.
Most definitely.
But yeah,
Uh-huh.
so obviously I don't want to use a cop out in Chris Jericho. So
Play.
I do.
Okay.
He's laughing for some reason. I do have at number 5. I have Charlotte
That's
Flair.
just okay.
Charlotte Flair for sure, because like I mean, she's the queen, she's the beast,
Makes
um,
sense.
and she's been at a high level for a hot minute, and she backs it up. She's talk shit. She's great at promos, um, and I mean, there's nothing much more to say. Like she backs everything up for the most part, and she's consistently main eventing and making a lot of the matches matter. Did you pick a card, sir? Because you're still showing as if you're picking a card.
I did not pick a card yet.
After that, at number 4, I have Champa.
Damn. Damn.
Yeah. There's a lot of people, so it's a hard one. It is definitely a hard one. I'm gonna have Tommaso Ciampa. Everything he's done in NXT, all like the straight heel shit. It kind of after Finn Balor left and went to the main roster, him and Johnny Gargano, like, and him just versus anybody, he would elevate the promos against
I agree.
anybody, and mainly against Johnny Gargano, and he was just a fucking villain, honestly.
Yeah.
And I liked it a lot. So I'm gonna read them out. You have making Napoleon blown apart jokes too soon after the Paris attacks. Ugh.
What?
You have a diet consisting of only Mountain Dew, mini donuts, and beer. Oh my god, put it in my mouth. That's something like in mid Texas. You have the American Girl store in my mouth. Put it in my mouth. Okay, I'll pick this one. Cooler one, that one. That was kind of easy. So now you're the card queen. Starting the next round, and you have to read. Oh, Mr. Blacc is the next round.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's supposed to be the winner, but whatever. Um, After that, I have at number 3. I have Adam Cole. And I'm basing this off of New Japan, Ring of Honor, and NXT work. He's been a beast for a long time. He's
Go
been a
ahead.
beast in Ring of Honor. He's just awesome on the mic. I would rather
I'm sorry.
have my O face resemble
Blank.
blank.
Then
So you pick 2 cards here. I would rather
Oh,
have
pick
my
2.
face resemble. I got it. Oh, okay. But yeah, I just think Adam Cole's a beast. He's shown why he's tremendously gifted in the ring and on promos, and he generates really good heel heat. And the fact that he went from Bullet Club to being faction, you know, from faction leader to faction leader, kind of. I would rather have
petty
a
Jewish
little bit.
neighborhood.
Wow, Jesus Christ.
I want to get separated with vaginas due to a clerical error. Finding a random baby. What? That's
Fuck
funny.
it.
Jesus.
Fuck it. Fart on the random baby.
Just a little breast milk. Oh,
Oh, that's nasty.
All right.
I think the last one won. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that last one.
Videos. Yeah.
Those fisted videos is disgusting. Come on.
Yeah, darling.
Of course. Of
Um,
course.
but yeah, that's it for Adam Cole. I think after that, I have Jay White. In the short time we've seen him in Ring of Honor, when he went from regular Ash Jay White to, I think he was the Kiwi Crusher or some shit like that at one point.
Yes. Yes.
When he started, he would come out in his like random ass like, I think he had tighty whities on or shorts. I don't remember, but like they were like bright
Yeah, he had,
color
like,
and
short
whatever.
trunks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
short trunks. And from him to go from that to one of the biggest heels in New Japan, Ring of Honor, period, in such a short amount of time, and as gifted as he is, and the promos that he gives is so amazing.
So is that why you wore that shirt today?
Kind of by happenstance, actually, because I just wore it earlier when I went out, and I was just like, you know what, whatever. But it matches the theme, so why the fuck not? Blank is the best birth control. Mm. Mm. Mm.
I don't think we should have did both these things at the same time.
No, we could do it. We could do it. We could do it.
Still.
And at number 1, I have The Miz. I mean, like, I can't not have The Miz. It's an easy cop out, I know, but the thing is, over 10 years, he's been consistent with it. 100% consistent with it, and I cannot ignore consistency like that. It's really hard to do so. And the same thing goes with Baron Corbin. Like, he would be on that list. He would be on that list for me had like all these other people not been up there. Like he's only been somewhat annoying for about 5 years. Like he could genuinely be on this list, but it's just I feel that
everything about Corbin is great. His matches, ability, the heat that he can gather from anybody at any time. So it really just depends on who you're putting in this list. Like top 10, he might deserve to be in the top 10 for the decade.
For sure. But yeah, that's my top 5. I have Miz, Jay White, Adam Cole, Ciampa, and Charlotte Flair.
Okay.
Waiting for Cooler to pick the winner.
Oh, show me the cards. Show me the cards. Show me the cards. Yeah.
Yeah, ugly ass face. Spilling your. Oh, wow. I'm not reading that one out loud.
Spilling your vagina.
That's pretty up there.
Or your spouse. Yeah. An 89-year-old woman with time and gravity affected breast implant. Jumping rope.
I think that's the best one. Yeah.
No.
I mean.
Well, yeah. Because filling your vagina with poison to kill your spouse. That's just not.
That's just extra.
Yeah, that's just one.
Yeah, bitches. Got you again. All right, so Cooler.
Should I go?
Or you want Blacc to go?
I want Blacc to go.
I kind of want Blacc to be like the
coup
de grace. I mean, if you want to go.
I'll go. My honorable mention is Stephanie McMahon, because no matter what this lady does, she could say that I'll give everyone $1,000,000. Boo! Everybody's gonna boo her. So that's my honorable mention. I have to give it up to Darius Carter. That he's just been a very consistent heel, very consistent. MJF stole his own gimmick, so that's the originator. Another one is dang, this is bad more, but I don't care. Sonya Strong from Hulk, like she's like the biggest heel I've ever. No matter what she does, that's another one where like she just get heat. No matter what she does, she wins. Heat. Number 4 is I have to say Sammy Guevara from AEW. I have to give it up to him because he's one of those like he's taking all the best of Jericho and making it into his own. And yes, he's putting that work in the ring, but as from an entertainment standpoint, you can't stand it. You look like, I can't stand this dude.
Yeah.
So that's
he looks like a shit baby. Right? He looks like a shit baby.
Exactly. He's
that's what
entitled. Like he's like an entitled millennium. Like when was he born? 96? No wonder why.
93. Yeah, same shit.
He's like one of those kids I used to kick out the ball.
Exactly. Him. Now let's go back to WWE. I have to say. I have to get onto my guy, The Miz. Like, The Miz been consistent since day one. Not only that, everybody who's associated with him, their heel heats.
At that moment.
Yes, it also gets to that level. Like, when you see them with R-Truth, like, you hate R-Truth. You hate it! R-Truth with mother effing
the fucking
passion.
B-team. Like, you hated the B-team as well.
Yeah. That was the Miz Taraj.
Yeah.
Exactly. Another one is I gotta give it to Daniel Bryan. The fact that he made like the short, and I know it's short, but imagine longer run. Like if Coffee Man didn't happen, he was meant to carry that time longer. You hated him. Everything he does, you look like, yo, shut up. Like I don't want to recycle, boy. Like he was every vegetarian put it in one, but to extreme level. He looked like I can't stand this dude.
Vegan.
Sorry.
The extremist.
And
the very judgy
you just hate him. You're like, oh my!
You just want to eat a burger in front of him, like just
it's
raw, bloody, like.
That's crazy because me and E was having that conversation earlier
About what?
He did
about
do it.
like
He showed
considering him.
man. And when he
Yeah,
had the hell no, all that stuff, he was a generally
yeah.
good heel. I
Yeah.
respect that for sure.
I don't remember. That's not one of my guys. You
But
know
for
how I
me, and
feel
that's the
about him.
thing, like I mainly don't pay attention to him. So when he was doing that stuff, like he did generate the heat, like you said, in the way he should, because he was really that much of a beast. Like and it annoyed the fuck out of me every time I saw it. Like, I would take it off. So obviously his reaction was
Well, turning the
my
channel
reaction
is
was
one
genuine.
thing, but actual heelism is another thing.
That is heelism. If I don't
But
want
if
to
you're
watch you
turning,
because I'm annoyed, yeah, I'm turning and then I'll turn it back afterwards after I think he's done.
okay.
That's
So for me, I think a heel is supposed to be somewhat of a train wreck, so bad of a person of an asshole that you can't look away, because you matter
like
as a
Adrian
viewer.
Broner. Got you.
Most
Okay, got
definitely,
you.
most definitely. That's why,
Okay,
yes,
got you.
most definitely Adrian Bronner. He's number one on my list.
Exactly. Last but not least, like as far as heel work, Andradas. Like you hate this pretty boy Spanish dude. Like he mad pretty, but he's nice. But like, yo,
And
you
that's
can't even
how
speak
much,
English,
yeah.
boy. Like you're annoying. Like, ugh. Like you don't speak English
Man,
very
this is
well.
so
Like
cool.
I speak. No, like you hate him. You hate him so much. All the things he does, like, oh, I hate him, and he's just so good at it, so cocky with it. That's what makes him a good heel. Because of limited English, his facial expressions, the way he carries himself, his swagger, that he tells
And
a
he's
story
Lady
without
Charlotte
opening his
Flair.
mouth. And
I mean,
Vega, at first,
Pa la raza.
at first she was like the whole meal, but now she's more of like she compliments his heel work. Like she does all the little stuff. Like
Yes.
he's really come into his own. So Dradas for me is like the number one heel. Like no particular order, but those are the heels when I think of heels, I think of like not so much the cool heels, but like straight up old school.
Oh yeah.
Separate sports, all that real life. If I had to work with you, be around you, like your existence will like, I don't like you.
Okay, so I have a question at the end of the show. Just
It was an amazing
to
show.
ask
She worked
about
the
that.
stage.
All right.
Cooler run.
I mean, it's not coming from over here.
Is that coming from Tev or Blacc? Yeah, both in Brooklyn, so it might be coming from
Oh, that's me.
all the people just stopped screaming from the the whole first responders thing.
Oh, I thought you were just like you did some weird thing. I was just
I
like,
know.
hey,
I don't know.
hey, what are you doing?
It was supposed to be a flag, like woo.
Oh, there you. Woo.
Oh,
Swing
That.
and a miss.
Anyways, it was an amazing show. She worked the stage and gave Blank and still had time for Blank. Mr. Blacc, you're the last one on the docket.
Yeah,
What the hell?
the answers that they gave for this one didn't really make too much sense.
Yeah, it did it.
I mean, they never really made sense, but it was always just one that was like.
So go
with
ahead
the
with
best.
your honorable mentions and/or top 5.
I have like a million honorable mentions.
There's so many honorable mentions you can put up there. That's the
Yeah,
problem.
yeah. Of course. I don't know. I'm gonna piggyback off of you guys for a few names. I'm gonna say Jericho, Corbin, Brock, of course. Like they're just great. Like you can't. As far as Brock and Jericho go, they've been doing this for quite some time now. Where it's just like they're gonna be good, and they're good at making you hate that they're having a good time. Like
Damn.
when Brock
My bad.
was.
Sorry, I should have read it out too. Sorry.
That's a good
What
one.
happened?
Continue.
What happened?
Okay.
Go ahead, Alex.
I'm the card queen. What are you prying from my cold dead hands? But continue with your.
Oh well, I was saying Brock and Jericho, that like as honorable mentions.
Yeah.
They're good because you're gonna hate them for having fun. You're gonna hate them for enjoying themselves because that's the kind of heels that they are. Think of Brock when his first run with WWE, when he I think he had beat Eddie Guerrero and he had the mariachi band.
Yes.
Like
He was way more animated back then. Like way more.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, we
Who
had
you
the
talking about?
Brock
Brock.
as a heel. Think about him when he came back and he won the title and he had it was the Block Party, the Brock Party. Like he still has fun even when he had the silly ass Scully on. Like you're gonna hate that he's having fun, even though it's having fun. And it's gonna be so bad that you forget that he's a heel. You're gonna join him for a little bit.
Is this honorable mention still?
Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes. Jericho, we already know what he can do. He's always going to be over. Even with the whole Mike Tyson thing, bringing that from 10 years ago from WWE to AEW.
Facts.
I like that
Facts.
he did it.
I like that he did it. Yeah, that was pretty cool.
And I like his explanation. It's not a WWE story. It's a Chris Jericho story.
Yeah, you betrayed me. Like that was
Yeah.
fucked up. Yeah, and
Like-
that awkward shirt tear that he couldn't get.
Oh my God, that was
You
the
ruined
best.
it. You
That was
ruined
the
it.
best. Like, how can you? How? But them shirts are really fucking tough, though.
They are.
Like-
They are, I'm not gonna lie.
They're super great quality. If you're trying to rip them, you're gonna have
What
to-
shirts?
the pro wrestling tees.
Yeah, they have good quality. They have good quality.
Yeah.
Excellent quality.
Corbin's Corbin. We already spoke about him. Shayna, she's amazing. She has
He's a savage.
maybe not. Yeah, she's a savage. Maybe not the heel of the decade. I would say top 5 of maybe the last 5 years. Maybe
Fair.
she can be in that list for me. That's honorable mention. I don't even know. I'm gonna go with, I guess, number 5, Rusev. As over as he has gotten because of Aiden English and Lana, he's still hateable. Like early on, Rusev and Alexander Rusev, like that's a completely different.
No shoes, Rusev.
Exactly.
True.
Didn't he break his foot?
Think so.
I think he
Something
broke
like
his
that.
foot. But like NXT Rusev and US champion against Cena, like that's the right Rusev. That's my favorite. That's the Rusev that I actually prefer. Speaking of Cena,
Really?
yes, yeah, Cena's kind of that heel too. When like it's not even a heel, it's just heat.
No,
That's
we're talking
like-
about heels. We're not talking about just heat. That's that's 2 different things.
It's different when when it's Disney and nobody wants to see
Take your
Disney.
card.
I don't want to. What are you prying from a cold dead hands? These are stupid. These are stupid. Okay. Yeah. So 5 is Rusev. 4 is Finn as Prince Devitt, and
Okay.
Finn as Prince Finn in NXT right now. Like
He's a heel in NXT?
he kind of
Yeah,
is.
he
He's a
kinda is.
tweener. He's a tweener. He's like it's so much because when they don't know what to do with you, it's like whatever happens, and that's what's happening with him right now. And he's kind of being an asshole, whether it's against Adam Cole or Velveteen. At least that's what it comes across when I see the promos on Twitter, because I don't watch too much of NXT right now. But as far as early Finn, Prince Devitt Finn, yeah, he's a fucking animal, and everything is just different when you go to New Japan because of the language that they're able to use in order to get over. Filthy, foul mouth, cursing Prince Devitt is.
I never
He's-
experienced Prince Devitt. Like, how good was he?
Man,
Picture
it's
Valor,
that's
but
speed.
like mad aggressive, fucking you up, not giving a fuck. Like he was a beast, and he created the Bullet Club along with
Tama Tonga.
Yeah, Tama Tonga and
Carl
so,
Anderson.
Carl
yeah,
Anderson.
exactly. So
Yeah.
it was pretty. He was pretty much of a beast.
Okay,
Cards
okay.
suck.
They really do. That's why I don't want to play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do. Like,
What's going
what
on?
the hell?
I thought this was gonna be better.
Shit. I'm gonna stay in New Japan.
Uh-huh.
Actually, no. I'm not gonna stay in New Japan. I'm gonna go with my number 3 as TJP.
Oh shit, baby face.
Yes, yes.
He's not a heel. He's not a heel though. Like
What?
Don't tell me how to pick my
No.
pick.
But he's not.
Don't tell me how to pick my
But
pick.
he's not. He just gets heat, like you said. So it doesn't really count.
For
Okay.
all of that,
Okay.
you know, we
You
could
wasn't
put on the
watching
list.
him. Who? I can put
Enzo.
Cena on the list.
You could
Yes, we
put
can definitely
Enzo.
put Enzo.
Yeah.
And we can put Leo Rush.
All right, cool. Let's start it.
Like,
You said Leo
Why,
Rush?
why TJP?
because a lot of people might not have seen him during his cruiserweight title run and the end of his WWE cruiserweight title run. Like, he didn't have the title for for the end of the run, but it was just the fact that he was coming out being an asshole. He was just fighting everybody. It was just as far as kind of an open challenge, kind of what Leo Rush was doing. Like, he come down to the ring with the mic, talking, pretty much saying nobody can beat me. Who's gonna try? And he had a mic in the ring talking shit while he was fighting.
You put him on your list based off of a 1-year thing?
Yeah.
Okay, it must have been impressive then. I'm just wondering. I'm being legit. If
And-
it was
and-
impressive to you, then it must have been really impressive. That's all I'm saying.
And
Like,
I don't want to keep saying the same names that we all said. That's why I
no,
went with.
fair. That's fair.
That's why, I went with Brock, Corbin, and Jericho. You can always
A
go.
lot of people don't like TJP for some reason. Wow.
It's backstage heat, or it's just attitude.
He's just a shit baby. Like, I think that's what it is.
And
And he has that shit baby face. It's not his own fault either. That's the thing. Like, we saw him at Hog, and I was like, oh, he had a great performance. I loved it, but I was just like, still a shit baby.
You also saw him at New Japan, and he
Another person
really,
you want to kick
Oh,
off the
and he
ball.
had an amazing performance there too. Absolutely.
and he flipped off the crowd. Like, come
Yeah.
on.
But I still think he's a shit baby. That's the unfortunate
Yeah,
thing.
like,
Like,
it translates
You can't,
no matter
change your
what-
face
Yeah, and it translates.
I'm glad you said you can't change your face. Wow.
unless you take your face. But that's a different.
This ain't face off.
Yeah, it's not face. What a crazy and ridiculous performance.
Right, Nicolas Cage was crazy.
Yeah. I have a long list right now. I know who I want to be my number one, but I don't want to go. I guess Miz, for the same exact reason everybody else picked Miz.
It's hard not to.
Yeah, it's really
Yeah,
hard.
it is.
And like you said, like Blacc said, like since the beginning, since he started, you kind of hated him because of what he was, which
Yeah.
had nothing to do with him. You just hate the fact that he's a celebrity, but not a celebrity as trying as
Yeah,
getting the
it was-
opportunity.
What
And
was it
then
that he was on? It was
Real World.
The Real
Real
World.
World.
Yeah, from the Real
Yeah.
World to fucking.
Wait, I got a question about
Star.
that. Do people recognize the Miz from the real world? Like, do they even mention that? Like, oh,
Not
shoot,
anymore.
that's like when he first got on the WWE, did anybody cover that? Was it a big deal?
Yes, and they mentioned it a lot on commentary.
Because
But
real
outside-
world was so
okay,
big
okay,
back then
okay.
too.
Yeah, it was.
All right, what I mean by big, because, all right, outside the wrestling bubble, wasn't mentioned.
I don't think he was really doing too much promo then outside of
Not
WWE
that I remember.
and MTV. I think it was just specifically him doing that double, just having those two jobs and just doing double time of work. I think.
Okay, let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Which Miz did y'all enjoy? Miz with the fedora hat or Miz with the underwear?
I hated the fedora hat because it was the baggy black cargo pants,
I
cargo
hated that.
shorts. I hated that. So I'm gonna say, and he was fucking up a lot as far as everything because he was a beginner. That's why I'm gonna go with the trunks because he knew what he was doing. He knew more. He had experience.
At that time,
it
everybody
took
was
time.
cooking.
Yeah, it took time for him to develop
Yeah.
fully his character and what he wanted to do.
Facts.
And he's
It
still
definitely did.
adapting his character to what the situations are needed as he goes. So like that's the biggest thing about him.
You just can't forget about Damian Sandow, well, Mizdow, and
one
just those matches were ridiculous.
Yeah, and
like
one of my favorite ones to watch
Stunt and
was
double?
no, not even that, but one of my favorite feuds that he had was with John Cena going into WrestleMania that one time. Like that
2017?
It was one of the better. I don't know. It wasn't even 2017. It was way back when. I think it was like
Okay.
2013 or some shit. Like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
I don't remember.
I was watching that.
okay, so
But
the first
it's-
one, not the
it's-
second one.
Yeah, the first one. It was one of the better promos I have seen. And it just did everything perfectly. And I was like, I bet. I was excited to see the match generally, and mainly that's because the Miz sold most of it. And
I mean, I mean, definitely. I definitely agree with you when it comes to the Miz with that, but I feel when everything's done and said, the Miz have carved himself a body of work when it comes to promo. Because you can literally pick out like people talk about moments. You can pick out someone like, for example, my favorite Miz promos are the one that he cut on the way to the ring about MVP and how that he was in the locker room eating chicken, he got kicked out of the locker room. That's one of my favorite promo. Another favorite one of mine is two of them from Talking Smack. Is the one
Daniel
that
Bryan
everybody
one?
talks about. The Daniel Bryan one. Reason why that
That
I'll take my
that was
that's perfect. Reason why that it was so good is because you thought that
That
because when
emotion.
people right, usually when people retire, it's just like you don't really say much. But it was so raw. And when you hear interviews after, he talks about the reason why I was so pissed off because how the hell am I champion? But yet the first brand new episode of SmackDown Live, I'm not on this. You didn't even mention me.
Yeah.
And he went off. And my favorite second promo from Talking Smack is it was after the whole IC match with him and Dean Ambrose, when like Renee got involved. I remember that. I remember that promo he cut.
I think that was after pay-per-view.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, he was like kind of, I am the best. I am the freaking best. Like he just got tired of it. I could tell that it was burned the line because you felt the frustration he had. The face is just like, I'm tired of people sleeping on me. Like, yo, and I felt that was the moment when like he started turning the gears for the better because when he won the IC title at Barclay, hopped in the whip and went to the Manhattan Center just to celebrate.
That was
low key
to be both places. Yeah, and it goes back to what I was saying about him just doing double the work and the MTV stuff as well as the WWE stuff. Like he was still popping up, even like recently, the last 3-4 years, he was still popping up doing like real world challenges. Yes.
He's a beast.
Exactly.
Man. Like
so even though we don't see him,
wait. Yes.
He
the Miz who he is right now?
No, but what I'm saying is like in the last 4 years, he was still popping up doing both jobs, WWE and MTV promos. Yes, it's like it's the same way how we have Titus still being ambassador for WWE, but not televised. It's the same exact thing. Some people are seeing this. Most people are seeing this because of the MTV work. So it just shows how great it just shows how great his work ethic is because you can't knock him. You can't knock him. He wants to be there.
I'm looking at his shit like overall. Like this man has won 2 Slammy Awards.
Yes.
He's won.
He's very decorated.
He's a 5th Grand Slam champion under the current format. 25th Triple Crown champion. Money in the Bank in 2010. Mixed Match Challenge season 1. He won it with Asuka, I think. Oh no, they didn't win it with Asuka. Yeah, he won it with Asuka. Yeah. World Tag Team Championship 2 times with John Morrison and The Big Show. WWE SmackDown Tag Team Championship 2 times. One with Shane McMahon, one with John Morrison. WWE Tag Team Championship 4 times. John Morrison, The Big Show, John Cena, Damian Mizdow. WWE United States Championship 2 times. Intercontinental Championship 8 times. WWE Champion 1 time. That's body of work is
that's amazing.
Insane.
That's amazing.
That's all right there.
I love him.
And that's pretty much that's going on 20 years.
Yeah.
That's going on 20 years. That's not exactly 20, but it's almost 20. It might be 19.
20 years.
He needs another championship reign, man. Like another
championship.
Always felt that way too.
He does. I definitely want it too, but he might not need it because like. Seth is talking about retiring. He's Grand Slam champ as well. He doesn't need anything else. Like certain things just solidify you as Hall of Famer.
Yeah,
and granted,
but Seth won it multiple times.
Yes, of course, but he still doesn't have the same resume that Miz have.
If you're not going to
I'm not comparing them so much.
If you're not going to give him the WWE Championship, make him break the record for Intercontinental Championship.
Oh, with Jericho? Jericho,
yeah,
absolutely.
I mean, he's number 2.
He's the only one that's put in as much work on that title as Chris Jericho has.
Mm-hmm. And when you think about it,
nah. I'm tired of slander. Yo,
Versus who?
Cody is the most underrated IC champion.
Yeah.
My son basically revamped the title with his own money, and he brought the prestige back to it. He starts the whole road like, all right, after me, I'll make sure that when I have this title, I'll make it mean something. And he did.
He did.
He is like,
I'm not discounting
he's
that.
most underrated him. But like The Miz, as far as I always preach this on my show, is certain, like, when it comes to like wrestling is not like, you know, unpredictable sports where whoever wins wins. It doesn't matter. They celebrate them. You know, if they never win that championship ever again, it doesn't matter. But The Miz, he was one of those who's like, to me, he's like number 1 or number 2 of the greatest IC champion. I'm gonna tell you why, because he added prestige to that title. He added the whole, dang, this is the real workhorse title. And every time he had it, everybody around him ate. Either his opponents, either people that he associates himself with, or it was simply like his valet, his wife. So
what are you laughing about?
This is.
I'm laughing at the choices.
Oh.
We forgot about the game. I should have just left it. I should have just left it
You
alone.
could have probably. I think this is probably the last round anyway, so you're fine.
So the fact that, like, that's why I feel like I agree. Like, The Miz will always be one of those greatest IC champions, because in the world of wrestling, what I'm realizing and what Chad taught me, Chad got for RP to him is,
yes.
As long as you feed in the ecosystem of wrestling in a positive way, your legacy will forever be cemented.
Absolutely.
Because
most definitely,
bump the Hall of Fame, like bump the whole W Hall of Fame, because that's something that is kind of like
it's gimmicky.
Fair. Yeah, it's too gimmicky. It's not fair. Like,
it's whoever is like having a good day. Mr. McMahon will be like, okay, if I'm having a good day, you're in.
Exactly. So it's too. That too. I don't even count that, but like the stuff that it doesn't appear on stat sheets. You know, like for a moment, you care about the B team. Yes, you care about the B team. You know, Miz, you care about the tag team. You know, you care about his wife. Even the feud with him and John Cena. The whole mixed tag. Yo, that build up.
Yes, that build up was amazing for WrestleMania
because of him.
The spoofing of the show was amazing.
Oh my gosh,
that's why.
Man. That was one of our episode artworks for like I think one of the weeks leading up to. I think it had to be the week after that. But we had art for that episode, and it was them. So yeah, we're not trying to discount Cody, but it's just when it comes down to numbers of repeat holding it. Cody is always going to be there just as much as Razor and Shawn. Those are my two favorite other early title holders.
I see what you mean. These are like the one-timers where, like, you know, like they got it one time, but they cemented their legacy by doing that. Okay,
exactly.
Because the thing is, The Miz, he said it multiple times, whether on Talking Smack or in promos. He's like, I want to make this shit matter. Like, I like this is a title that used to be main eventing fucking pay-per-views all the time. Exactly. Like, I want this to be the shits, and that's why he would always go for that title. He could go for the WWE Championship if he really wanted to, but like that's his baby. He wants to like cement his legacy in that title, which is why.
And it's not that hard. I don't want to say it's not that hard to, but it's harder to get to the top than it is to maintain that mid card level.
Agreed.
Everybody wants to be there.
He's been the top of the mid card level. Honestly, he has been. Yeah. He's been the.
He really is upper mid card.
Top of mid card.
Whenever he shows back up, he will be that. He will be like if he were to be there for another. Like if he signed to be there for at least 3 more months. He's going to be top of the mid card. We would all love to see him have a real heavyweight title reign or universal, whatever you want to call it. I would love to see it, but at the same time, I do want him to be more than a one-time champ. But breaking that, I kind of agree with breaking that count for most IC title held. But I don't know.
I say this.
I don't know which one I want more.
Right. I say this. If he does break the IC title, like, make that last run. Like, all right, this is. I wanted a year if he does break. Right. This is his last run before he gets to the WWE title picture. I feel like during this run, don't do the open challenge. Have real, legit programs with
Yeah.
people, put over the young talent, bring back old talent,
Definitely.
all of that.
Yeah.
Because this title, this Virgin IC title, that's a whole nother slate clean. And so far, hasn't been doing a great job of really presenting that title. Like, yes, the tournament is great. It's definitely great. I'm for that. But my thing is this way is not the same because it got an asterisk next to it because we're in a quarantine era. So imagine the pop when whoever wins the IC, like it's an AJ wins, the pop you'll get if he wins. But right now, the man should get that title, go for a whole year and just kill it. I'm talking about win like go against like the WWE Championship, the Universal Championship, like don't beat them.
There's a storyline in that too. There's a storyline in that new in the new title design of the love and hate for it. It's new. I don't like it, but authority or whatever you want to call them is telling me not to change it because they're trying to solidify something new for this new decade that I'm in. There's a story in that.
You know what I want
There's
them
already
to
a
do?
story
I
in
want
that.
him to challenge like at WrestleMania for the WWE Championship or the Universal as the Intercontinental Champion.
Yeah.
Like, I want to be I want him to have the Tetsuya Naito
Double-
effect, pretty much. Like,
That's my number one.
like that. I mean, he is the number. It's hard not to have him as number one, and
That's
it was
really
another
my
easy
number
out.
one.
Like Tetsuya Naito, he's been the ultimate heel for so long in New Japan, and like a lot of people don't know because they don't watch. Unfortunately,
This is the
but,
same
when
guy
you see
who-
him,
I was
like,
introduced to this guy as the guy who was kicking around his own title.
yeah, like super disrespectful. Whenever he won it, he would just throw it. It's just like whatever, he just throw it on the floor.
Like you
I don't
throw
give
your
a fuck
title,
about that.
and the New Japan titles are amazing.
Gorgeous.
They're amazing. They're beautiful.
He had it beat up, but he had it
He didn't give a fuck.
disgusting.
Yeah.
Like
He didn't give a
Yeah.
fuck.
it looked like the hardcore title.
Yeah.
Yes.
But
Yes.
like, I want the Miz to
did, though.
have that moment. I want him to do a Tetsuya Naito. Like,
Yeah, so
I
this
think
is just a Miz
it's-
appreciation episode.
Yeah, it pretty much is at
Yeah.
this point. But not like I think that's where we're at with the Miz. Like, and we all put him pretty much up there, if not number one, number two at least minimum. So, yeah.
But yeah, Blacc, you're right. Like as far as him being like top title holder, there's a story in bringing everyone back to solidify his whole career.
Agreed.
Like you can talk about his first year if you bring back maybe the Diva Search, or maybe he brings it back, or maybe even you don't have to do that. Maybe as a spoof of that, maybe you could bring back Big Show for a promo. You can bring back other people that he's held a title with, and I want to see a promo between him and Morrison if he has that title.
I would love to see that.
Because
actually.
that's a lot of fucking history. That's a lot of history. Daniel Bryan as well. Like that's old and beaten
Too
up.
much
But you
history.
can always do that with them too. I don't like him, but I don't care for him. It's not that I don't like him. I don't care for Daniel Bryan, but it works because it's Miz. They can bring back Alex Riley. They can bring back Sandow. It's so many options of who he has crossed paths with and the B team.
They can even do like a fucking handicap match against the B team or some shit like that. So like
something.
It would be dope. I would. Like, you should send that to Vince. Like just write it all out for him. Be like,
man, fuck Vince. We as much
I
as
know
we
you
like,
need help. I thought that was your guy.
Like,
Vince is
that's
my
my-
guy. That's my guy.
certain decisions that he makes. Certain decisions.
That's my guy.
He kind of is my guy to a certain extent. Certain choices that he make, but I've been really thinking about a lot more. And as much as we go through a lot with like just race, it's just like as much as what did Hogan do recently? What did he say about everything that everyone's killing him about? Blacc, are you aware of that?
I'll be very honest with you.
I don't pay attention.
I don't pay attention to a lot of dudes no more. Like, you know,
Yeah.
like, reason why I stopped paying attention to these dudes because if I want to have more positive space as far as the wrestling community, I have to cut off certain voices who's not about nothing.
Exactly.
You know, Dave Meltzer. I mean, not Dave Meltzer, but what's the dude? Jim Cornette. He's just like, I'm looking like, no, bro, you shoot too much toxic information. And mind you, we all have like, you know, me being a podcast, me being on the
we have to know about it, but it's still like,
I don't want to know about it. Like even when like dealing with like the dealing with like the fans sometimes interact. I'm looking like,
Why you
y'all
want to talk about
ignorant.
this? Yeah, y'all
Yeah, it's
Yeah, some
angry.
like,
dumb motherfucker. Yeah, I know.
Y'all
I know, it's
ignorant. You're
hard.
angry. This is not what you should have in your cipher. Don't if you don't keep what is it? Keep it out. Keep it out of your. Just keep it out your space.
Yeah.
If you can't if you don't breathe it, it can't fuck with you. It's like,
and that's
Sometimes
why
I
I tell
feel.
people,
go
I
tell.
was gonna say.
yeah,
Sometimes I feel like the era, like before this one, like the golden era, like certain wrestlers from the golden era,
Very
attitude era,
very
even
racial.
the Monday Night Wars, I feel like at times they have a hard time like bigging up this era,
Yeah.
and you kind of see that in other sports in general, like other eras just kind of like shitting on the new era, and sometimes that's hard. It's hard to progress. It's hard to appreciate what's in front of you now
There are
because like
some
you're
that are
hearing from
progressive, but yeah, agreed.
It's like it's always the thing of how rappers equate the music industry to WWE, WWF. It's the same thing. Like everyone from a certain decade is not open to a certain upcoming decade. So it's always going to be that. You can count the amount
I
of people that's
mean,
still around
let's
only
be real.
because of that.
Music is shit.
I
Besides
give you
that,
an
though.
example.
Well, you can
Oh,
pick and choose, and you're gonna find what you like, and that you. A lot of people like people that they won't say that they like. That's what
yeah.
happens in both industries.
I give you an example. Like I give you an example when it comes to like this whole like when it comes to like back in the day. Soulja Boy said it on the radio. He was saying on his breast He said back in the day they made fun of me for making like a dance to my songs. Now
Who said that?
everyone's doing this. Soulja Boy.
Yeah.
People tease them. What? Crank
Yeah.
that? No one liked him for that. Everybody came at him. Now, oh,
he's
you
a
gotta have a
trendsetter.
dance to your song. Yes.
You know what's crazy about that though?
He's a trendsetter.
That's
People forget
always
that.
yeah. But my thing is, it's so crazy because it's always been that. It's always been one, whether
It's
black
always
or
the first
white.
one, yeah. Like,
It's
What
all
was the
and,
first one?
yeah. Whether it's
Always.
Big Daddy Kane, even though Big Daddy Kane was talking about drugs as well, but we also
Hey,
had
he gets the
heavy
job
heavy.
done.
Exactly. We also had
No pun
Heavy D
intended.
who was just fucking with everything. So it's like
And
I don't get it. There's an avenue, there's a lane for everybody. And
just
sometimes
like
it's not big enough.
it's just like even wrestling. You mentioned about wrestling. Even now, but like I talk to people, and it be wrestlers. They'll say, "Oh, I like the old school better." Blah 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 blah. This I can watch Ric Flair match for hours, and I'm back in my head. I'm looking at
He don't
y'all
even like you if you're colored.
exactly, and I'm looking at them like, bro, you're part of this generation of wrestlers. Stop crapping on these generation of wrestlers
Because
you're
they're
just
not
a
gonna want
part
to
of
fight
it.
you. Because they're not gonna want to
Exactly.
fight you.
That's what I be telling people. And people say, oh, people do all these flippy stuff. I'm looking like, you don't have to watch that. You can
yeah,
literally,
If you
like, for example, a Battle Club event, right? Let's go to the most famous one. Tessa Blanchard versus Mia Yim, right? Straight up brawl, street fight. Some people not gonna like that because they don't feel like women should fight like that. They should be in bra and panties. But that's your opinion.
yeah.
Like I can't come at you because this is something that you enjoy. And I hate the generation where just because I don't enjoy what you enjoy, I'm wrong, I'm
Yeah.
stupid, I'm a racist, I don't know nothing about wrestling. I'm looking like,
Yeah,
bro,
enjoy like you don't have
enjoy
to
what you
like the
like.
same thing, but we can take the same thing out of it. Like
I feel like plain and simple, in today's world, there's no such thing as opinion anymore. Like it's like opinions are getting phased out.
yeah. It's like this is what you have
either
to like.
yeah,
The
you
algorithm is like,
either
this is it.
agree, you either agree this is what it is, or you're just a hater. There's no in between.
it's been like that for a while, but yes, yeah.
And
And
a
now
lot
that
of people-
everyone can say something, it's just like, okay, I'm saying this. I'm not saying an opinion. I'm saying a fact. When people don't even know what words mean anymore.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's weird too because the people who are trying to be in between, who are trying to see both sides, ironically, they get shitted on the most.
Yeah.
Because they're trying
When
to
you're trying to
understand.
mitigate, yeah, exactly. Both.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just
You're
like,
Yeah,
trying to
like
be
you're
hey,
both right, but you're both wrong. No,
Yeah.
you wrong. Like
like,
how? Why?
I'm not feeling this. But I get it, I respect it. And they're like, what you mean you don't feel this? You don't understand this. You're not fucking with this wrestler. You're not fucking with this basketball player,
People don't understand that, like, when it comes down to certain type of fighting styles, it's science, it's art. That's just what it is to me. Like if you look at boxing, it's the art of boxing. It's a science. Throw a punch without getting hit, even if you miss the punch.
Yeah, like
Floyd.
Mayweather, exactly. Mayweather's wasn't the prettiest to watch, but it was the prettiest to watch because guess what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Motherfucker never got hit, and if he
Yeah.
did get hit, it was very minor. He'd just be a glancing blow, like nope, pop, pop.
Exactly. Like he's getting grazed, and it's not really hurting.
Yeah.
Like
And
he's
if people
guess
don't
what?
like that,
Some people don't like
They
Floyd
don't.
Mayweather's boxing. Like, yo, it's boring, blah, blah, blah. But then if you watch two heavyweight go at it,
because they don't understand the
Wilder-
science of
Yeah.
picking
Right.
somebody apart.
Watch that. Yeah, watch that. Like, that's what I'm telling people.
like
Like,
that's the funny thing. Like Wilder versus Fury was perfect because everybody was like, "Oh, Wilder's gonna win." I'm like, Fury's gonna pick him apart. He's a boxer, guy. Like he knows what he's doing, and he
Boxer.
picked them apart. And everybody was
Honestly-
pick them apart. Pick them apart.
Honestly, this is like my favorite. The Corona era is probably my favorite era of UFC fights. There's nobody in the fucking crowd to boo.
and they're going hard either way.
There's nobody in there to boo. Like you're sitting there trying to get the science on the other guy. There's nobody in there to fucking boo. You can hear the commentators, but there's nobody in there to boo. Like they boo for no fucking reason.
It's a pure
I'm
fight.
not in a rush to see UFC or any type of MMA with a crowd. Honestly, wrestling, I could care less. Sometimes I watch on mute, so that doesn't matter to me. But as far as UFC
And we got
and
indie
MMA,
shows too. So
exactly, and that's just us mixing and mingling, so that's fine. But as far as like UFC, I'm fine with them having no crowds. People boo too much, and they're still gonna pay $50-something to actually watch.
Yeah.
people do boo everything. And I feel like during this era, this quarantine era where people promos got better because there was no what?
Yeah.
CM Punk.
They can't.
It was none
Yeah,
of that.
exactly. They can't
Now-
work off the. They don't have to work off the crowd. They have to work
Nothing.
on.
Now
just them
people
too.
can get their shot offs now. Now you feel like
Or-
you feel the promos in your chest. Like, for example, I'm about to say Sonya Deville. That's her name, right? That Sonya Deville. That promo she cut about Mandy. Imagine
Amazing.
she
Amazing.
cut it with the whole audience.
Yeah.
Boo, boo,
Amazing.
and
What?
it throws people off.
Yeah.
What?
It was a
What?
great
Like,
promo.
come on,
And-
like,
and
come on.
That wouldn't have gone across right with the crowd because a lot of these crowds are teenage boys, young boys as boobies. Like it's not gonna everything's not gonna come across. So like they should have. There should be a way for us to still see promos like this in rings like this. There needs to be. I don't want to say a whole night of this when it doesn't have to be, of lack of crowd, but it's necessary sometimes. I honestly missed NWO Sold Out when it was a pay-per-view card with nobodies in the crowd, like completely empty crowd for a reason, and it doesn't go over well. It's not one of the best known pay-per-views.
It
but,
sold out. What year?
I think 97, 90, 96, 97. I think it was.
Look that up.
Yeah. Like good matches, not too many promos. People shit on it for what it was. It was no crowds for no reason. But watch the fucking matches. They're decent.
At the end of the day, it comes down to if what you're seeing is good, stop being a bitch about everything.
Yeah.
That's
Exactly.
what it is.
I'll give you an example of like kind of the era we're in, and I feel like The Simpsons got it right once again. It was a episode where Lisa just like had a vision, and she was like at a concert playing or something like that, and next thing you know, everybody's booing. So she came back to reality. She's like, "Why are 20,000 people buying tickets just to come there and boom?"
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think I
I'm
saw
like-
that episode.
Yeah,
That was years ago,
I
right?
remember that
Yeah.
episode. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
And,
damn, like we actually got to this era now. Like legitimately, everybody wants to be sarcastic.
Everybody wants to be heard even when they don't have shit to say.
Exactly.
Everybody wants to be an asshole in the worst possible way, not knowing how to actually
Exactly.
do it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh shit! I didn't know that was Daniel Bryan in the background. Look at that.
Oh yeah. Daniel Bryan, yeah. The
I mean, I don't want to see. I want you to move back over so I don't have to see it. But I like.
No. I'll show you the poster I got. I got Daniel Bryan, of course.
I like that
Dallas
also
Love, you know.
Anything you can do was a dope ass show, man.
Yo, like
That was
Temple was amazing. Tev was supposed to come through that day too.
Yo, y'all better club. Y'all better come to the next Battle Club event. I
In
don't know when.
2022.
Most likely. Most likely.
Say that, man.
Please don't be in
I
Jersey.
know.
Say 2022.
I know. It's just
That's what
Like, yo, like, now I want to say again about people like, oh, it's like, you brought up something, Alex, like a while ago about how that you cannot be in the middle. You cannot see stuff and see it from both sides. Like, I understand why a person do this. Like, you got to pick a side. Like, for example, the most infamous one that everyone knows what Jabba Tears with the whole Tessa situation, right? Literally, if you listen to the episode, we said, yo, I get why Tessa said it because they gave her the green light. But she should never said it because something you should never say at all. Take the word out of vocabulary, right? Man, when I heard people talking trash, to this day they talk trash about, oh, we're coons, we're white supremacists. I said, how am I white supremacist? Oh, because you're defending her. I'm looking like, I'm not defending her. I'm saying that I'm giving you as a journal, like someone that who is a podcast, I'm giving you the whole story because if I give you one half, I'm not doing you a good service.
I'm leaving you ignorant.
That's why exactly. Like I need to argue with Alex most of these episodes. Honestly, I have to argue with him because even if I don't feel that way, I have to because the spectrum says it's not just one side.
Exactly.
Everyone doesn't
it's
agree.
a great spectrum. It's not only always black and white.
Exactly.
Obviously, we know there's always two sides to the story, but for the most part, like it doesn't help when those people actually paint their own story in a very bad light and don't know how to communicate properly, or two, which is a lot of people's problems, or two, just when you have
wait. As far as bad communicators, who are we talking about? Wrestlers or okay, all right.
In general.
Yeah, just people in general. Gotcha.
Bad communication overall will fuck up everything, and that's
it will
the
fuck
main
up
problem.
everything.
No one listens.
Yeah.
Nobody.
I was just about to say that.
And even if you're telling everybody the right thing, just like you said, nobody fucking listens because nobody cares. They're so stuck in their ways. So like if wrestler A says something bad about wrestler B, but it's not intended, it's intended to be a joke, they're gonna shit on that wrestler A. Even though wrestler A and B have a great relationship, you know what I mean? Like,
people don't know how to argue or debate. That's what it is.
Thank you. Like, I'm not gonna hate you. I just want to see how you came up with that conclusion. That's it. That's it.
I just want to know your
Expand
take
upon it.
Yeah.
I say it more than anything else. I agree to disagree. I want to know. I want to hear what you have to say. But if I agree, I agree. If I don't, I don't. Like, I don't have to. You can try, or you're gonna waste your breath. You know how many people have thought I was so disrespectful saying, I understand, but I don't, it's not for me. I don't need to see it that way. It's not, you're not going to convince me. How is that disrespectful? That's like the nicest way to say, stop talking. Stop talking, change the subject. Like,
you're basically acknowledging the fact that I see what you're coming from, but I'm not gonna subscribe to that. But I appreciate your time you explain it to me.
Mm-hmm.
But I have understanding. I see why you think like that, but I don't agree.
And a lot of the
you're still wrong. That's what you got the day.
A lot of the times what we have to do is sometimes we can't argue on the internet because we can't actually see these people. If you can have a real face-to-face verbal conversation, you'll understand why this person can't think this way, why they can't change their way of thinking, or why they are stuck in a certain type of way of thinking.
They saw. Like, go ahead.
Oh, my bad. One thing that has stood the test of time before we were born and from the day we leave this world, people don't listen to understand. Yeah. They just listen for a response.
Yeah, most definitely. Most definitely.
I said
that's social media in a nutshell.
That's social media in a nutshell. Like,
that's why I post stuff and I ignore it after a while.
Right, I know it too. Like, the greatest thing, the greatest person that you can't falter. Nia Jax is like the heel right now.
I love her.
And people swear, like, I love her. And people swear, oh, she don't know how to wrestle, blah, blah, blah. But when you realize Nia Jax only been wrestling for 2 years, and now let's take away that it hasn't been a really fully
take away the injury hours,
all of that, this, that, and third, feeling comfortable again. And when you realize that Nia Jax was not always that big, Like she got bigger over time, but she's still trying to figure out her
She got
body.
muscle big.
Yeah.
She got muscle big. Well, at the same time, she did play football.
And to
I
have
didn't know
two
that.
torn ACLs at that too.
That's still time.
Whoa. She played football and had 2 torn ACLs?
Yeah. But 2 in wrestling.
Two in wrestling, but still.
2 wrestling, but still, like, no wonder why that she can't hang with the women. Because the women don't hit hard. Like, I'm sorry. Like, women who are coming out now in the indies hit hard. They hit like, I want to hit you. It's a real fight.
Yes, because they go against
the Big Swole.
Like that's different because they fight the women. Like the indie woman wrestling scene is a lot different from the men. Yeah. It's a lot different than it was before because it's so similar to the men. That poster on your wall, Blacc, that was an intergender show.
Tessa Blanchard versus the 5'2" player. Come on.
Yeah, Anthony Bowden.
Yep.
Bowden.
Anthony
that match was sick.
That match was dope.
How he's not signed. I don't understand how he's not signed.
Yeah. I don't get it.
But yeah, that's what it is. Like she needs to be on the indie scene. She needs to be on the indie scene with the indie women. She can't be in WWE because they want a specific thing from all the women except for Nia.
Nia Jax, honestly, I don't like the way she dresses because I'm looking like, yo, you're trying to
ring attire.
Yeah, I hate the ring attire.
Yeah, she seems more constricted.
Yeah.
Yo, come on, son. Like,
she dressed like she's supposed to go fight at a India show.
Thank you, and like
that's the only way I can put it.
No, you're right.
Like, yo, it's just like honestly, I just feel like I would ask her a question. Like, Nia Jax,
do
you really believe in your character?
Yeah,
because
she's fluffy, and I don't mean that as how big she is.
Nice
as personality,
like,
she's amazing. She's a sweetheart.
But she'll still fuck you up. At the end of the day, that's the thing.
If I have to, I can. So like it doesn't work. So I'm gonna answer that for her and say I don't think so.
Like honestly, I never thought about it to JJ. Like, what if Nia is not really? I won't say that she's not happy with her life, but what if like when it comes to the in-ring stuff, she's just looking like, yo, I don't think I ever will get this. And she's putting so much pressure on her. Imagine going home, you turn on your phone, next to your notification, Nia Jax sucks. Once again, she injured this person, this, that, and that. I'm looking like, come on. Because she looks like, when she's not doing ring stuff, she looks mad happy.
Very.
She looks like she's mad friendly and stuff like that. She's looking like...
This comes back to social media, and look at what happened with Hana Kimura. Like, she just couldn't handle it. It's the worst fucking case scenario. Worst case scenario. It's the
I just love the fact.
Thing. So like,
I just love the fact that there's a lot of wrestlers that are either not paying attention to social media at a young age, or just at a certain age where they have lived without social media. That they won't pay so much attention to.
Like, I think at this point, it's kind of imperative to just get the fuck off social media and just do your job. Honestly.
Yeah. Unless that's your job, and then sometimes you just have to know how to sift through it.
Sometimes it could be so. Sometimes it could be so vital, but at the same time, like just as detrimental, even more detrimental.
Yeah, you just have thick skin. That's it.
I'm gonna tell you a story recently. Like I had to log on to social media for like a while, for like a whole day, because I lost myself again. Because social media will make you feel like, when you, especially during this whole pandemic, when you being at home so much, working and stuff, and you just like literally on the clock, like just on auto go. Be on social media, you realize that it can make you change your whole mood. Like, yo, why are people so negative? Why are you just always nitpicking that stuff? Like, yo, literally, you're alive. You complain about first world problems, and it's wrestling. Like, if wrestling don't happen today, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
I just feel like when it comes to right. Like,
pay for something now.
Turn on
Netflix, Hulu, HBO Max, everything. Disney Plus,
PS4,
Pornhub, whatever.
The reason why that I guess I'm so like. The reason why I'm so like positive when it comes to these wrestlers
Only
because
thing. Come
a
on.
lot of them are my friends.
Latino notes.
A lot of them I know them. A lot of them I speak to them on the phone. A lot of them I know the person. I understand that a lot of people work hard, and
Yeah.
you just nitpicking every little thing. What if I go to your job, right? And what if like that? What if like your job is like you are like a secretary? I stare at you. Come on, don't staple it like that. That's the wrong way. Oh my gosh.
You're stapling on the
Bosh,
wrong side. You're doing
bosh,
this. You're doing like
Bosh, what's wrong with you? You effed up. You effed up. That's gonna be annoying.
But
So
at the same time, it's like, oh, you signed up for this. Yes and no. That's not a real answer.
I
That's
signed
not a
up to
real
entertain you.
explanation for anything. I signed up to entertain you, not for you to sit there and call my ability shit, even though you can't even do a cartwheel.
And this is why I fucks with the Miz, because he don't give a fuck about anybody. At the end of the day.
the
Like,
safest work in the game.
Yeah, safest worker in the game, best promo worker in the game for a consistent level, and like, yeah, man, like at the end of the day, you don't see him going back and forth like that on social media, this type of shit like that, you know? Like, he stays away from it, because why? Because he's smart about it, because he knows it's toxic, and he knows that in order to, like, keep his shit level, like, just kind of stay off it.
He got a good life. You know, he got 2 kids now, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh my God,
kids.
Maurice has always been amazing. So just come on, come
Right,
on,
like,
there.
the fact that you're right, like, you know what?
Yeah.
Social media is toxic, but social media is also
I'm not gonna
blessing you, too.
lie. I like the toxicity sometimes.
We know.
I love it sometimes.
Like I just scroll through it and read it, even when it's like even when it's in bad taste. It's just like I'm like, damn. I hope they don't take this to heart. But this person is really fucking funny. This person is an asshole. Like I judge it on many spectrums. I don't want it to be said about me, and sometimes you can see it. It's just like, oh fuck, it's like it's coming. But it's still, yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
Alex. You grab the knife, like you have those moments, but then it's like, I don't want to delete the tweet, but I want to delete the tweet. Maybe I should, maybe I shouldn't. Type
Sometimes
shit.
he
So,
texts with me, he's like, should I delete the tweet? I'm like,
yeah, sometimes I'll say, should I tweet?
I've already
You
said
should probably
that.
do it. Yeah, you should probably do
So
it.
it's a lot to it. It's just people don't fucking understand, and people want to have an opinion, and people want to be heard, and a lot there's an age requirement, but there's no real check on to see if this person is mentally prepared, okay to do certain things
They
on the
should
internet.
do psych evals, absolutely. Like, if that's where you were headed with that, I'm sorry for cutting you off, but like
No.
for something like that, like if you're gonna be in something like wrestling or like if specifically WWE, AEW, New Japan, you should do psych evals. Start like
Celebrity figures, public
overall,
figures.
yeah. Because
Yeah.
they do the psych evals in other sports. They do it in the fucking in NFL, NBA, all that shit. They do all that type of testing.
Did Aaron Hernandez have a social media account?
I don't know. That's not relevant though.
No, I'm just saying. Well, it isn't. But him of all people, I would hope that they advised him not to, and I'm sure that they probably did. For the person that he ended up
I didn't know that.
ending that, but hey, it's just shit like that because anything can lead anywhere.
But having a psyche valve before you get hired to start, I never thought about it. It would honestly
ACH.
save a lot of, like, it would definitely would have saved a lot of people's career. It would have helped them.
For example, yes, most definitely.
That's another situation where the whole
It's a lot-
ACH situation is
So
like,
it's a lot into it. Yeah.
like he didn't really take ownership of none of it because he was literally like like when it comes to the whole T-shirt thing, when it comes to him is 90% of wrestling T-shirts are black. We all know that, and the fact that you didn't ask to say, "Can I see it in black?" Like, you know what merchandise.
What's the
you didn't
basic
say
colors that
nothing.
it's going to come in?
Right.
Don't have it
Right.
in a black shirt. Don't have it in a brown shirt. Any color but black and brown.
And he didn't say nothing. And
Yeah.
this is where people missing that tweet he put. Oh, I didn't want to say nothing because it was Triple H. Bro,
That's all
on
your
you.
fault. That's the reason why you should say something. Like, can you imagine? Can you imagine not saying this to the guy that had blackface on WWF television at one point?
Roddy Piper.
When he was he? No, he wasn't Mark Henry. He was The Rock, the Croc. He had blackface.
Oh, it was
The whole nation. The whole nation did it.
Yes, he was the they would have like
Okay.
talk to that man about that. Let him know like this is not where I'm going. Like, come on, you have to be smart about things.
But again, it's just.
And he might be too young to really think about that moment, but still, it's your life.
It's a pattern. It's a pattern I've noticed around a lot of like young black wrestlers. Is a lot of them feel. I'm not saying all of them, but some of them feel like they're entitled. They feel like this business owe me something.
Oh yes,
and I don't
it goes
like
back
that,
to
like,
shit baby status.
Yeah, like, I'm not crapping on Leo, this, that, and third. This, I'm not saying that, but I could see where people could feel like he feels so entitled. I talked to him. I don't think so, but I can see why people feel so entitled. But a lot of us coming up, black wrestlers, it's like, to me, it's a mixture. Some of them feel entitled. Some of them, because they feel so entitled, because looking like, I worked so hard to get here.
Yeah.
I put in work. And I'm still not main eventing. I'm still not doing certain stuff. Why am I getting strapped?
Yeah.
So I would say that about TJP as well.
I don't think that they feel entitled. Not all of them. I feel like.
Not to say that he does, but I'm saying that as far as how people can perceive him.
This is
as
why
such.
I agreed with Mark Henry and with Booker T on certain things where they were like, "Yo, pay your dues, do your time, like do what you have to do, and then show that you're a company guy. Stop bitching about everything on social media. That's another big fucking problem. Social media is, again, they go to social media like, oh, they did this, man. It's like, no, bitch, handle your fucking business with your business, not on social media looking like an asshole.
JTG started that though. JTG started that.
And Shad said it. That was pretty much what you were saying about Shad. That was his response to ACH. Just do the work. Stop bitching and moaning.
Yeah,
just work.
Stop bitching. Just work, and you'll get what's due to you. And if not, you know what? Your contract is up. Get the fuck out.
I don't want to. And one thing, I don't want to say that it's always that, because sometimes it's like they're new to this fame and they're regular on social media. Like, this is their social media. They are the social media generation. So it's like, I'm going to say it because I have it. So it goes back to, you don't have to say everything in a tweet. You don't always have to send something.
People don't know how to differentiate.
Write that shit down and throw it in the garbage if you have to.
People don't know how to differentiate between work and home shit or personal shit, and that's the problem. They're blending the two, and it's just like, bam, like, you just handled it completely wrong. You're looking wrong.
Can we go back to what Cooler just said? Yeah. What you just said? You said write it down.
Write it down and throw it away.
It's not enough of that anymore. You know why? Because it's like, honestly, if you write shit down, it feels more intimate. It's more personal. You feel it. It connects to you. And when you go on social media, it's just like you're doing it
all written down, and then
it don't exist. 240 characters. And it's like
you're not feeling it. You're just doing it because it's like, yo, look at me. I'm this. I'm that. Like, you know.
But at the same time, it's not. It's because, like, you got to also think, like, even I'm not gonna say that, but you can tweet something and you could delete it, but somebody's gonna screenshot that shit. You know how many? Like, you know how many people that, like, I have notifications for when certain people tweet. You don't think there's going to be a thing for most celebrities in a certain, like, oh, I know CM Punk is going to say something. He's going to say something crazy, and he might delete it. Let me get that notification. Let me screenshot it. Let me screenshot all his tweets before he deletes them all. Like, it's certain people that just have that job. There's people that just have that job. Look at the notification, screenshot it before they delete it, if they delete it. And send it to whoever. Like, it's the same idea, but it doesn't work when it's the internet. Like, stop.
It don't exist. Like,
I blame Dinkelberg.
Who tell?
I said I blame Dinkelberg.
Dinkelberg?
Well, the dude from Fairly Odd Parents.
Okay.
Oh, dang! Throwback reference.
I forgot. Oh man,
we feel old. Jesus.
Yeah, for real. Like, damn. Why do I know?
Nah, I'm gonna say this just to wrap it. I'm about to say again. And just overall is like, as a black man, the stuff that we're going through is I don't want to feel nobody feels censored, that they can't speak their mind. But I also want people, especially as black people, like, before you write, take a deep breath.
Think.
Take a walk, think, and say, I shouldn't write this. I should put it out on social media. Or if I'm going to put out on social media, let me control the
narrative.
Yeah.
Because
you know how many tweets I got drafted?
If
I
you
got a
write it
million
down,
drafted.
if you write it down, read it, you'll be like, oh
Reread
shit, this
it.
is coming off pretty fucking bad. Like I should probably not tweet this. It's the same thing sending an email to like somebody at work. Like, just don't hit send. Read it over and be like, oh, okay, maybe I should rearrange this. Maybe I should take this out. Like, yeah, people don't
go to your notes.
That's gonna be hard because some people can't think through another POV.
I know.
Like the journal.
I know.
Yeah, Doug Funny style. Like, get his fucking journal.
I fucking.
Listen.
Yeah, no, yeah, we gotta. Yeah, this is it. This is it.
We could go on for like 3 more hours, but like I'm getting fucking hungry.
Dang, this was man. We should do this again, man.
Yeah, no, we're definitely gonna try to do it next week. Hopefully we get all 3 of ya. Next week Friday, for sure.
All right,
and,
I'm down.
We'll come up with a new topic, and yeah, we need the whole Jabba Tears, and possibly the whole eye pokes and head chokes ensemble. And yeah, this was fun.
He is not sleeping.
I know he's not sleeping. Thanks again, Mr. Blacc, for joining us. At Jabba Tears. If you want to plug your shit, go right ahead. You have
plug it.
Plug.
Y'all can follow me on underscore Mr. Blacc, MrBlacc. You'll see it. Follow me on the Jabba Tears podcast. Look for us on Twitter, Jabba Tears. Look for us on YouTube. Our latest episode dropped. Sexy Mike. We talked about the danger, like what's the pros and cons of WWE superstars coming to the Indies. We talked about we cover a lot of stuff, but definitely check us out.
Is AEW an indie?
No.
Okay, no. I just wanted to get that idea. I didn't think so, but I just wanted to know if that's what y'all thought.
Okay, before I say something is an indie is when they don't have a major network deal, meaning that it could be on Discover America, whatever. Meaning that I can log like this. I can click on my remote and find it.
Stick cable.
Right, and when your performers cannot go on no other television in America. That's why I know that you're not indie no more. You're just, this is why it's Impact, New Japan, AEW, Ring of Honor, WWE.
Okay. All right. Yeah, good answer. Respected.
Because I know what you're doing. Anyways, you can follow us. Yeah, I know it was a real question, but you always time these real perfectly. You can follow us on Twitter at Pokes and Chokes. Myself, Mr. Alex at _20. You see, fuck me up.
No number anymore.
At _Mr. Alex 25 _ the asshole interrupting all the time at NU _KEWLA. Tevin Brown at Anomalous Fringe on Twitter and on Instagram at Anomalous _Enigma. You could listen to us on Spotify, iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, and Transistor FM. And we finally have our Teespring store up, so we'll be getting stuff to you guys available soon. And yeah, thanks again for watching. That's again Mr. Blacc for being with us. We totally appreciate it, and we look forward to having another show with you guys next week. And everybody, stay safe and tip your peoples, bringing your food and stuff. Peace
That's
out.
it. Later, y'all.
Yep.